Hi. Canister looked like he just rushed 10 flights of stairs. Uh, sure, did I cut my hair? I did not cut. Well, I cut my hair like a week ago. 2 weeks ago, maybe. But not in the past few days. Although I did not use. Yeah, I did not wash it today in the morning, so that's probably what happened. I have not run 10 flights of stairs. I'm a bit sick. I'm not sure if it's a normal cold or something else. It seems like I have got my sense of smell weakened too, so maybe it is SARS-CoV-19 or SARS-CoV-2 COVID-19. Who knows? Regardless, we're gonna play a league of game objects with a newly updated deck list. Uh, Urza's Saga, 18 green lands, including a Gingerbread Cabin and a Boseiju. Can't wait to have Urza's Saga, Boseiju, and Cabin in my hand. On top of some black and blue cards. It's gonna be a fun time. You always read my comments in a way that I feel the dumbest person in the room. Sure. I just don't feel that way, is my advice. I would read your comments with more respect. Like, it's unconsciously, I would read them with more respect had I seen the subscriber icon next to your name. I don't mean to pressure anyone, although that is just a fact.
Control player.
3 months less than 3.
Hi, Canister MTG, are you going to Big Popper Classic event tomorrow in Katowice? No. For many reasons. First, I'm a bit ill, so I'm staying home instead of going to Paris, where I was supposed to be playing, not playing, I was supposed to be commentating the tournament, but my flight got cancelled and then also was sick, so I will not go there. So I would go there before going to Katowice, and then also it's a big popper event, which doesn't interest me. That reminds me of the arena advertisements where they said finally the best player in the room with an individual playing alone in a bed on a laptop. Yes, that was like an extremely backhanded compliment, and it was also the player in the ad was a dark-skinned woman, which is not a common demographic amongst Magic players, so that made it worse too, I think. More backhanded. It's kind of funny in a way. Hi Kanye, what would you play in Modern Showcase if you truly wanted to achieve a place in the top 8? I don't know. Murktide, Hammer. What card do we put back? I want to keep all my cards. I think I put back the Cauldron Familiar. Let's play my 2-mana creature that trades for a removal spell. 1 for 1. And my opponent retaliates with Xander's Longe, which is fair. What would you have played in Paris? I wouldn't have played in Paris as I would have been commentating. So I wouldn't have played. Ooh, can take my greased. Lannis should trigger itself. Yes. For sure. When you play the Merc Mirror, question mark, what was your general cyborg plan? Are those two questions or one question? Do you want to know when I played the mirror last time? Scatting DRCs and spell pierces, and I was bringing the cards that were good. I did not use Flash Storms for the most part. There is some merit to using spell pierce and Flash Storm, but felt like more often they go dead than they're useful. When are you playing this list? Right now? Forgot telling. Okay, I thought you asked about the deck I'm playing right now, and when are you playing it? Kinda redundant. Top tier combo by Schwitz. Meria. Is it a Yorion deck? It looks like a Yorion deck. Is it a 20 creature artifact deck? Lovely. Is that two places of legendary monsters and also a place of Goblin Engineer, which is more or less legendary too, because the first one is useful, but the rest is not. Good deck building. Those decks, I think, are pretty bad, honestly. When are you playing game objects? Currently. Hopefully my opponent does not find a way to transfuse the dwarf into a Archon. You can actually name Artificial with Cavern, and that's nice. Bad attack. I know they're all artificial, so that's pretty based. And it actually makes the mana, like, work. I haven't looked exactly how many caverns were there. I assume they have Spell Pierce. Will you be a professional Genshin TCG streamer? Maybe. Genius Invocation TCG. Running Titan tonight at my FNM. Wish me luck. Good luck. No attacks. So you don't have Spell Pierce? You don't. Awesome. We're missing Chatterfang for the full combo. Push on this so you can flash in the cat. Investigate, and now I can sacrifice, I guess, still the cat and return it again. So we have created some game objects, bros. And we also gain an extra, like, triplets of game objects. So I can win company again immediately to not have summoning sickness. That doesn't really matter, I think. Ravenous Squirrel. Okay, let's play the Squirrel. It's gonna grow by a huge amount. And let's cast company. Can we spell pierce? Like, obviously they had no spell pierce. Oh, come on, bro. How the hell do you concede to a company on the stack? Just let me see what I would hit at least. I would hit an extra manufactor and a greased. I'm probably would grab the goose over grease because goose is +9 things. Then we can sacrifice grow the squirrel to humongous proportions. But come on. What a lame scoop. Feeling okay. I'm feeling better, but it's not super great. Like, I'm not feeling bad, but I am a little bit down with the sickness. I don't know about the matchup. Probably bad. I probably want Fotzies over, like, I don't know, Cauldron. Lonnie's sealed the Archon one time. Unfortunately, Lonnie's summoning 6, so a bit worse at that, but probably play Ren. Although they seem Grixis, but this card is bad against Ren. 22 creatures, 26 company hits. Seems fine. Chalice on 0 to counter the dwarf tokens. No, actually that doesn't work because the tokens are not cast. They're created by the enters the battlefield effect of Dwarven Mine. So Chalice would never trigger and counter that. Chalice only counters spells.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Can he not commentating in Paris Sag?
He is indeed not commentating in Paris such. No, it's such, but Chalice that counters all our food and treasure tokens. Oh, chat. Of course it doesn't. Once again, it's an ability, not a casting of a spell, so Chalice does not interact with that. But you can commentate on Paris. Sure. Interesting. Do we play Saga next turn even? We could play Saga and Prosperous Innkeeper. Yellow Hat is not commentating to my knowledge. Will Fotsies on the next turn. To prevent creativity. Okay, so I'll take Persist and just make 2 constructs because they have 2 removals. And it's nicely they can't cast a removal spell now because they don't have anything good to hit. The only way. We'd have thought it's a dark on TBH, but then they would persisted back, so it seems kind of poor.
He's a phenomenal control player.
L underscore, L underscore, L underscore, L underscore, L underscore.
L underscore. Can I hear the music we play? Yes, I can. Well weighted opponent. Can crack the construct for 2 tokens now. Don't even have a Naya Spellbomb to fetch. I have a Tormod script in the deck. I didn't realize they're playing this, so they're playing Persist. Have they found a Persist? I do. Bit of a problem.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Okay, so Construct will attack.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you, friend. They have the lightning ball. That's like all a problem. I think we need to attack. I think we will Thoughtseize too. Going to Chatterfang. Gilded Goose. Seize the fort. All right. I am screwed. Makes no sense to sacrifice the... I don't know. Makes no sense to sacrifice a construct, not quite. I feel that my deck is a bit weak. Generally. So we struggle to beat stuff like removal spells. Yeah, I mean, I guess no outs. Company. I guess a company is an out. Or Grease even. At 3 life, bolt, you're free. Good point. I was dead to that bolt, so my opponent helped. It was really important to bolt it though. I want Tormod script against their deck. They play Persist. Let's have the Tormod script. Naya spell will be so much better in this matchup. Naya Endurance is too bad, I think. If I had to pick the dog tribe or the cat tribe, which one would you choose? Cat. But I would prefer not to choose if you would allow me. We have push, Ravenous Squirrel, not so strong. Endurance does not interact with creativity whatsoever, so not really interested in that much. Alert, Canister is missing. He was last seen on a Twitch stream. What do you mean I'm here? Bolting the squirrel to show disdain of a bad deck is more important than the win. Sure, watch me crush my opponent in the last game though. We gotta show them. Yes. Awesome hand. Keep. I lied when I said it's awesome, but it's a hand. Zero creature cards in Canister's graveyard. For now. Legendary creature planeswalker Greased Insect. I don't think I want to reveal the Tormod script even with a Thoughtseize deck. We should wait with it, I feel like. Not spending my mana on anything is pretty bad here, but such is life. Life is pretty bad at times too. Kaneki, what do I think about
He's
Scion
a
of Draco
phenomenal
Rhinos
control
list?
player.
Kanye Aya.
I don't really think much of it. No, actually I do. I like Scion of Draco and Rhinos. Everything that you can play on turn 2 in Rhinos seems extremely valuable, and Scion of Draco and like Leyline Binding and Scion of Draco are both cards that you can play earlier and they're not bad. Took my Greased, interestingly. So I'm actually a big fan of that. Yeah, Leyline Binding is the more important card than that, but it's just very nice to be able to play 2 mana 4/4 flyer and this thing. I need to take a look at the mana base of the Rhino deck though. They have Xander's Launch and Indantha Triumph. This is finished with Steam Vents and this is finished with Temple Garden. So you have all the fetches, grab both of those. Wooded Foothills, Misty Rainforest, Flooded Strand. Yeah, works. Nice mana base. Do I feel UR's viability is affected by Leyline like some doomsayers are saying? I mean, it's removal spell. It's like strong removal spell against the deck, but it's fine. Don't counter it. No. No. Well, Living End plays black mana very slightly. Same people that say every new piece of Tron hate will be the end of Tron say Leyline Binding kills URR. Sure, but like it actually, Tron is actually dead, right? Well, I like Kazali and Boucher, yeah, that's pretty based. Seems like they do have creativity, which is kind of unfortunate. They're absolute fucking luck sacks like they are. So we're gonna hit Company into Greased and kill this now. Or will we? The answer is we will not. Alright, dead. I think UUR has been dethroned. No, bros, chill out. It's like nothing has happened. Actually, something has happened, but like it's now that now white decks have removal that kills Murktide Regent. So well, what changed? Not much. White decks had removal that killed Murktide Regent already. Possible that Rhinos is actually a decent deck to play now. I think it makes DRC better and UURR has to be more aggressive in those matchups and makes JTMS a lot worse. Sure. So from my perspective, nothing has changed because I already was holding those beliefs that DRC is crucial towards the deck actual validity, and I was never into the Jace the Mind Sculptor as it never seemingly won me any games. There is going to be a showcase challenge tomorrow and I will play it. I'm not sure if I will stream it and I'm not sure what I will play in it. I think I will not want to play Hammer. If you would build an UURR deck, what would it look like? It would have Dragon Rage's Channeler in it. I think JTMS was already not super good against Rhinos, sure. Well, against Rhinos it was pretty bad, yeah. But what other decks play the Leyline Binding? I guess maybe we need to look at the deck list a little bit. Are there people who don't play DRC in UURR? Yes. Not large amounts, but some people don't. I'm not sympathetic towards that, but They also may play a league with Super Rhinos now. I think Sign of Draco is real good for them. Or it doesn't make that huge of a difference. Oh wow, bros, Leyline Binding on my Greased. Just like it was prophesized. Well, typically there was no Fury post-board. There wasn't always Unholy Heat. It was often bolts. So allegedly it was super good, although it was not very quite my experience. Yeah, 1 mana cheaper, and I can also Boseiju it next turn, which I will if it costs 1 mana to free my Greased. Minister, what do you think about the card Leyline Binding? It's an obviously powerful removal spell. If you watched my set review, which was before the set was released, you knew that I rated it as the best card in the set for Modern, and well, pretty clearly it is the best card in the set for Modern for now. Canister, have you seen the Abzan Asmo Greasefang deck? I have not. Link, please. Was it 5 WoW canisters out of 5? Yes. Better question, is it worth to play Moon now with Binding? I don't find that. Well, probably you can play Moon against Rhinos. But it's kind of a double-edged sword because this is like also extra answer to Binding. Do I have a Rhino list you like? I haven't played Rhinos, no. Not quite. Bro, is that really all it took? 2 squirrels was too much for you? Nice dominating the metagame deck. Really impressive. Oh, I'll make 2 squirrels. Oh no, I will concede the game. No, please. Could also just splash white and blue red
He's a phenomenal
for
control
Teferi
player.
versus Rhinos in Binding.
Gaming.
In what way does Teferi match up well against Binding? It just seems like a extreme reach because it's a permanent that's on the battlefield. So you're gonna what, bounce and free your Murktide Regent, a free creature, awesome. And then your opponent can like cast it again, exile the Fairy if they want, exile the Murktide Regent again if it's a problem for them. And this removal spell also costs 2 or 1 mana for them to cast on the back side when you spend 3 mana on Teferi, so in no way Teferi seems to match up well against the card Leyline Binding. You lose on mana and you like don't gain value. I also don't think Teferi is actually a improvement card for the Cascade matchups. Really, it's kind of replacement level card against Cascades. 3 mana sorcery, you just play it, you just die so often. I think it's also very surface level thinking. Could have Fotsis over some cards, but I don't want to play that game with Fotsis, I will not. Sideboard. streamer bullying me, but I then instead of listening. I wouldn't call that bullying when it's just how it is. Like, and no, you know. For example, does Ragavan match up poorly against Lightning Bolt? Discuss, chat. In the chat, tell me, does Ragavan match up poorly against Lightning Bolt? Yes or no? Yes? I wouldn't say it matches up poorly. I would say it matches up evenly. In no way does it seem to match up poorly to me. Which then, I think, due to the potential, especially since Ragavan also has... Yeah, I guess if Ragavan had no dash, you could say that it matches up poorly against Lightning Bolt, but it matches up evenly at best thanks to the dash text. Yeah, and it dictates the timing of the bolt a lot. Do I think the upcoming Lord of the Rings set will be good enough to be competitive in Modern? It's been specifically made Modern legal, so I'll be surprised with that nothing, right? Probably will have some cards. Matches poorly against Gatshot. Yes, Gatshot matches up well against Ragavan because you're at a mana advantage. You're trading cards evenly, but you're always at mana advantage. Assuming you can spare the life, then it's just good. I think I need to counterspell this. Let's go. Does Ragavan match up poorly against Young Wolf? Yes. It does match up poorly against Young Wolf because into Young Wolf you just can't attack. You trade off a Ragavan and are they really counterspelling? They fetched a Watery Grave. Bro. Oh, boss edge on this. That makes more sense, but it's fine. It's absolutely okay. So yeah, Ragavan matches up poorly against Young Wolf. It matches up poorly against I don't know, Brenton First Forge Tender. What else? Memnite, Grazer, yeah, those are the like actual poor matchups, and like just against Lightning Bolt, Ragavan doesn't match up poorly, it matches up finely. This is the entire thing that the Merktide deck is built upon. It's just the fact that it does things cheaper than opponents. Very often. Have the combo next turn if uninterrupted. Probably will be interrupted in some way, but so far they interrupted me only in a medium way of the Boseju on my oven. Alright, skip. Matchups poorly if your curve is lower than opponent, giving them an extra land drop at even trade, exactly. I don't know which card you were talking about, but I agree. Refund please, I skipped. I have no reason to refund you. I'm sorry, friend. If you were to play standard, what deck would you consider playing? Black midrange with Liliana and Sholdred. But that's about the extent of how much I kept up with standard. I don't know what decks are there other than that, so don't take my take my advice with a grain of salt and let that be like a fine pink Himalayan salt, not like any random salt. It's not worth that much. No, that makes sense. You get the idea. Don't get me wrong. Okay, we're gonna play Academy Manufactor. Trigger. I've got that section time, sadness. Got the section time, sadness. Sadness, oh. Played Rafina into shoulder at last challenge and it felt awful. Yeah, that sounds pretty tough. Oh my god, I feel it in the air. Make more objects. Yeah, Raffine's not so good anymore. See, they have ephemerate to punish me. This is a so-called combination. This, and this is an infinite drainage. And also infinite clue tokens. But we don't have everything we need. Infinite life action, exactly. Cam is better than fucking. So true. Can have Ice Fang to block Lonnie's can attack. Sadness. Suction time, sadness. Suction time, sadness. Oh. Oh. But yeah, it's infinite suction because you use Avlon manufacturer, Cauldron Familiar, and Chatterfang, so you sacrifice a treasure, sacrifice a squirrel to give +1/-1 to the cat. Cat goes to graveyard, sacrifice the food token, cat enters. You then investigate, which creates all 3 tokens, giving you treasure, food, and clue, and then you sacrifice your treasure to and a squirrel. You also get 3 squirrels, and you sacrifice 1 squirrel to do this. Are you Iron gamers just play folklores now? This gamer does. Wouldn't want to speak for all Iron gamers. Eternal Witness, sure. What you gonna witness back? Solitude, sure. I wish clue tokens would just crack for 0 mana or that something like that. Yeah, there used to be a time where I did speak for Iron gamers, that's true. That time is long gone though. What black cards would Yorion even play? I've seen a message. Also notice the combo Yavimaya and Chatterfang. They play Yorion Leyline Binding, but I also heard rumors of Yorion gamers running cards such as Lord Windgrace. That's their splash. But I think somebody posted a message like that in the Discord. They were like, oh yeah, Lord Windgrace. It was the only black card. Then they had a black Triumph or something, and well, sure. But Grease Hunger Tide really showed who's the broken Modern Horizons 2 Mythic. I guess it's not from Modern Horizons 2, Omnath is from Zendikar. So well, that's why it's out that. I thought Lord Windgrace is a Jaunt card. I would think that Lord Windgrace is not a modern playable card, but something about the guy is really appealing to some players, so well. Oh, I guess they can play Greased. I don't think Grease is good in like normal deck as he plays soccer. Nearly to the same extent. Have I seen the John deck? I've seen Aspiring Spike play that John deck. Or rather, like, I've seen that it was played by Aspiring Spike, right? With Windgrace and then Saga, but 4 drops and Urza's Saga is just a proven bad deck recipe that is redundant. Because then you have 4 drops and lands that sacrifice themselves. And now I look at my deck with 4 Urza Saga and 4 Collected Company, and I'm like, oops. I guess. Young Dingo went 4-0 in a prelim with Windgrace, sure. But like Young Dingo, like Spike's brand is to brew, so he like has to build new decks every day, right? And then Young Dingo's brand is to play shitty midrange decks to in like every possible iteration that he can think of. So yes, they both 5-0. They both play daily and they both probably play quite well, so they will 5-0 some of the day. Doesn't mean their decks are not cringe. Remember that, chat. Only what I play is not cringe. I say with a hand of Gilded Goose, Witches of and Prosperous Innkeeper in the format of Modern. No, but at least I don't have any trophies with those decks. I'm true. I'm truthful for you in that sense. I'm not pulling your leg. Like, I'm not pretending that those decks are good. I just go like 3-2 with them or 2-3. I think this deck is worse than Windgrace Chant. I agree. I agree. I guess it's true, but you know, like I'm not I'm not saying it is. We're all on the same page. It just is a deck. I think Dreadhead Arcanist is not a common card in red black. I will see exactly what my opponent's up to and if they can beat Ursa's Saga. Profane Tutor entered the Excel zone. That is not what I expected to see. Profane Tutor, huh? Do you think my opponent is going to play some kind of a sick combo, or will they tutor for Sholdred or something? Or a Fotsies? That'll be peak Profane Tutor. Maybe they play Archon, Persist, something like that. I am copying that Ali color fastlands will be printed in next year, Phyrexia said. No, you will not copying, it's gonna happen. It couldn't not happen. Stack first. Like they already printed the remaining fast lands, slow lands. You know which lands. Clearly they're going to continue printing the highly requested cards. I'd bet this is a waste node. Yeah, I would guess that it could be waste nodes. The only thing standing out as a weird inclusion in waste node deck would be Arcanist. I have no idea who's Dylan Cruz, but certainly he's a person playing this deck. They might have hit Sugu. We'll see. I think we're fine against Hidetsugu. Kinda, not really. Kinda bad against Hidetsugu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back to plays that main deck. Certainly not Noodle underscore boy. Canister wins. Nice tutor target. Let me look through my deck. This has to be one of the worst times in history to play rotating format. Standard is horrible right now. I don't know why Standard is horrible this time, but a lower card pool, the format is going to have a lower amount of playable cards most of the time. Because there's gonna be less synergistic decks, so it's just the nature of Standard. I don't know if it's like... So that's kind of evergreen. Playing against red-black midrange, I will not sideboard because I don't get my opponent's deck and I don't want to disrupt my carefully crafted synergies. So yeah, I mean, what's up with Standard? Is it just that black is strong? Black, 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 black. Oh, Naya Invoke Justice, black, black, Mono-red aggro, black, black, Gruul aggro. Standard challenge, Esper midrange. How does an Esper midrange deck look like? It's not very Esper. I guess for Disdainful Stroke in the sideboard. For Invoke Despair. So it's actually black-white mostly. Black-white midrange cards. It looks like Standard. Hey, this looks like my New Capenna Championship deck. Midrange Soup. This was a deck pre-rotation too, like same cards. Did Standard actually rotate or did it just not? It's the same cards as pre-rotation mostly. Fable. It's really funny. Mono black. Evolved sleeper. Well, it looks like a mid-range forward. Which it always is. 0 copies of Liliana, huh? Well, maybe Liliana actually sucks. Invoke Despair, best card in Standard and Pioneer now. I think it's far from being the best card in Pioneer. Small this. Punished. Mull to 5 against the discard deck. Keep. This. I played a Pioneer League with red-black midrange finally yesterday. As expected, I went 3-2. And I bought a Shouldered. Only played a single copy. Because it turns out that Shouldered is 66 tickets on Magic Online right now. So I decided that one Kalitas is going to be fine. How do you just play Bering Inquiry and you F6 immediately? I haven't seen a game with Shouldered in it. What makes her so good? Not really. No good answer really. It's like, it's not that good. But it does deal, it does drain lots of life pretty quickly, so. It plays better than it looks. But it looks like not a constructed playable card, so I think it doesn't say too much, but. Like at some point damages are and life points are worth mana, and Sheldred is gonna trade 1 for 1 often, but she can produce damages for sure. Remember when Cancer didn't give a rating to Sheldred? I mean, did you? Did you think Sheldred was any good? Type 1 in the chat if you thought Sheldred was good, playable. Yeah, it's kind of like Kalitas, but like a bit different than in like some situations. Can you lose this game in order to figure out what the opponent is doing? Oh, I missed on some damage by accident, so I guess I'm on my way. We already know what my opponent is doing. They're playing Burning Inquiry, and I'm sure they have Waste Knot in their deck too. Not sure what else. People would play Phyrexian Obliterator over Shouldered, I think. Where? No, because Phyrexian Obliterator does even less than Shouldered. It attacks for 5 per turn, while Shouldered attacks for 6 per turn. And Obliterator just can't be blocked. And also is uncastable. But assuming it costs 2 black, Shouldered still seems better than it does. Because you deal more damage from Shouldered. Ah, what a scam. Yeah, Obliterator just deals 5 damage per turn and it just doesn't get blocked. But it can get blocked if like that's the only thing that matters. So it's actually worse than Shouldered by a huge amount, I think. I mean, it does trample. Sure, but you can block it if like that's the only... You just don't block it, right? For the most part, because you don't want to let them deal damage to you. But then you can block it if that's the only thing that matters, right? You can block, sacrifice 5 things, and attack with a like last flyer for the damages. Oh shit. Fuck me, bros. O kurwa mać. No to mi dojebał. Well, we keep 2 powers, so maybe something. Also draw 3 cards. No, we don't have any more clues, so we don't draw 3 cards. Alright, whatever. Let's gain 2 life, 3 life. Well, I can gain 2 food, but it doesn't do anything to gain the food, so I didn't. Can sacrifice 4 clues to get something juicy from my opponent's deck, but probably attack them down to 1 seems better. Well, I could have used the Witch's Oven, but what does it do, right? Get Shouldered. Now they can fetch. I think that might matter. And I would like to keep the clues on that battlefield. But Hidetsugu consumes all, indeed kinda consumes all against my deck. Pretty spooky card to play against. But we are 2-1 with this game objects deck, so we can maybe go 3-2. Well, there's a pretty good synergy to follow it up with Arcanist. Although Arcanist doesn't need a full graveyard, it just needs a single spell, so it's not too bad, right? It would be a worse anti-synergy if it was Tarmogoyf, for example. Or Boneyard Worm. Thoughts and a deck link. Alright, I'm ready to be disappointed. Okay, it says Living End of the Shriek Moss. September 11th. I think Ravenergy was playing this version for a while. Not entirely sure of like the use, how useful Shurikmo is. Maybe it is kind of based. Then it's more black cards. Not a fan of 5 2-mana cyclers, so I would cut a Waker. Hi. Let's keep. We go Oven. My opponent goes Ragavan. I go Witch's Oven. They hit me. I play nothing. They hit me. I play a 3-mana 3/3. Okay, Jatoras. So either some Domain Charimare or it's again Creativity, which I seem to run into many times. This looks like Creativity. Domain what exactly? Exactly. O kurwa. Pinguje mi chłopa? Dobra. Ha, poświęcony. I think playing creativity is kind of like playing UR, but the difference is the same as between E-Thoughts and I-Ladies. What? I don't understand. Huh? I-Ladies. That's your face. You for sure do. Oh no, my witches all win. Okay, I'll take an Archon next turn. I don't want to have to sacrifice a creature to Archon. I ladies nuts. So funny. Ale błogosławieni miłosierni, no błogosławieni mega. Dawaj to tam Fable'em i skontruj Spellpierce'em w Company, to umrę na śmierć już. It seemed like they had no Spellpierce. So they will not have a Spellpierce, right? Oh, they didn't. Not sure. They bind bolts. Or even binding. They can't quite binding if they only have one scared foundry. No, bros, why do removal spells? Why are removal spells this strong? Like, who thought that's gonna be a good idea? Just let people cast removal spells on their opponents' things.
He's a phenomenal control player.
My girlfriend won't play Magic with me, should I dump her? Not necessarily, but that's you think is key for your happiness in the relationship, then yes. Baya Kugak Pap, thank you very much for your sub. I'm saving the goose activation for now. To ambush. My opponent's monster. Oh no, my squirrel. It summon 4 Archons. One is in the graveyard, so they can't quite summon 4. It's a bit troublesome. Okay, just hard casting 1 does not matter really. Meow. Alright, you can draw something good. Lonis for a win. Okay, that's not Lonis. So let's draw Lonis. That's no Lonis. I'll just kill the Archon, I guess. And make construct. No, I need to make 3 more squirrels. Can make construct. That's fine, we don't need the thing. So Chatterfang attacks Ren. I guess we just killed the Archon. Bros, I don't know if I checked 6. 1, 2, 3. Raz, dwa, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should be 6. Okay. I have only 1 squirrel left. Forest walk too strong ban. Kappa, kappa, kappa. Very good Twitch activity on your end, Mox says. Custom wins. It's always so funny when like this is it's kind of nice, but it's kind of mopey too. The Chatterfang, like make the tokens, but not really as many of them to overwhelm their opponent in one swoop. So like they could just creativity me and kill. So it's always funny when they just die to stuff. Oh, actually, I don't know. The creativity I could kill by dwarf. Get 2 Archons. This gets pretty bad for me, but can seize their thoughts, which is for sure good against creativity. And Prosperous Innkeeper is not, or something. Golden Goose times 3. Mulligani. I'll keep this one though. Feeling better today, Mr. Streamer. Slightly. I have lost my sense of smell, so I might have COVID, but I don't know if it's that. It's the shitty goose art on MTGO already. I don't know what's the shitty goose art. I'm definitely feeling sick. My nose is less runny than it was yesterday. So I do feel better. This looks weird jump. But I think the store championship cards are not online. At least I don't think the Archmage's Charm is. When I got COVID, I slept for 21 hours, then was fine 2 days later. Yeah. Doesn't Ashok turn off creativity? I don't think it does. Card Indomitable Creativity. No, doesn't. It shuffles but doesn't search. Unfortunately, they have Rens that can just keep up their spell piece and still progress with the Ren. The spell piece is quite bad against my deck overall, so there is a hope that they just didn't sideboard in, didn't keep it in. Awesome. 4 mana, 2 mana value of creatures. Miłosierni. I can win this game. Let's win the next one. At least it's not the alchemy cat. Yes, you can find solace in that aspect of reality. Will you play this deck when the cards get added to MTGO? Mississippi River. Guess Cascade, Tribal. What's the new card? Demonstrate, bro. What does it mean? Which cards are not on Modo? Sweet Gum Recluse, Flash Cascade Reach. When it enters battlefield, put 3 counters on each of any number of target creatures that enter the battlefield this turn. Okay, so there's 3/6, and it puts 3 counters on the things it cascaded. Sakashima Protege, Flash Cascade. You may have also a copy of something, okay, been cascaded into. Creative Technique. When you cast a spell, you may copy it. If you do, choose an opponent to also copy it. Shuffle your library and reveal cards from the top of it. Non-land card. Why is it? Why does it win? Oh, so your deck is 6 mana Cascader, so I guess you just keep hitting this card and eventually you cast Emrakul. I get it. And any Cascader hits the creative technique, okay. And you just demonstrate so there is 2 copies, a single force doesn't stop you. That's pretty funny. But it does need to cast a 5 or 6 mana card even, which seems tough to begin with, right? And then your opponent might just have 2 forces. How is it always Emrakul? Well, your deck is Cascaders that cost 6 or 8 mana, right? So this always hits a random spell in your deck. So it's always gonna be either Emrakul, another technique, or a Cascader, which hits another technique. So eventually you just hit the Emrakul. You're not guaranteed to hit the Emrakul because you only have 8 tries. And your opponent gets to cast this however many times you needed to cast the creative technique, so this could get awkward, but
He's a phenomenal control player.
You woo.
well, if you cast 4 techniques before Emrakul, then it seems like it's tough luck, and you don't anymore. Bros, this card is so overpowered, it's insane. It's so insane, just so strong on the play. Against bad decks especially. Can minus to kill it, a plus. Nice. GG, yeah. GG, yeah. Don't counter. Because I have Planeswalker in my deck, so maybe I should just company more on sorcery speed. Because I can hit Grease always. No, bro, Spellbeast is banned into my deck, I promise. You shouldn't have it. Shouldn't have it in this, shouldn't have had it in your deck, bro. I tell you. Not kidding, it's really bad. Ay. Sure, Baldy Goose. Which card is better, Ren or Spell Pierce? Depends. Against me, it's Ren. Against me, it's Spell Pierce. Against the population at large, it's Ren. Can't have another Spell Pierce, bro. Right. Yes, no spell pierce. Reminds me of the time game 2. I was on Heliod versus Blue Eyed Control and they Force of Negation. My Well of Summer protecting my Coco. They told me Force of Negation is good and I boarded more in. Well, sometimes it is like that. Actually, sometimes things like that happen when a card seems poor on surface level, right? But then deceptively, it's quite powerful. Because even if there is like little, like I only have one instant sorcery in my deck, right? The Collected Company, but I will often telegraph it by passing with 4 mana up, and it's often going to be spell pierceable because it's expensive, right? So it's also going to be present in most of the games that I win, I think. So even if kind of surface level thinking is that it's bad against their deck, against my deck, it's actually maybe not that bad, right? All things considered. Because inevitably I will be casting the company during the game, and like that's kind of like the key turn to stop. So that dynamic could also potentially be present in the other matchup. When inevitably the important spells you were casting were the Wells of Summers, indeed, and not much else. Because other than that, the Heliod deck had 3 mana 2/2s and 2 mana 2/2s against control. Does that mean Spellpiece is good against Yogg? When I play blue-red, I often want to keep a Spell Pierce against Yawgmoth or other Flusterstorm because they don't have non-creatures that are not instant or sorceries, but I did board Flusterstorm against Yawgmoth with blue-red. Yeah, they have Grease, but it's a creature on the stack, so like they don't have anything you can Spell Pierce. 2 Archons. Why only 2? Hemra cool, lol. Hmm. So I guess yeah. It's possible. I guess I wouldn't board in more. That's fair. Bułka nie drap cię, proszę, no. Małe diable. Well, Eldritch Evolution is often cut against just removal because say -1 card. But then even if they only have Chord, very often they're going to try to like they have one relevant card in their deck, Yawgmoth. So inevitably they will try to resolve it, and it will happen in a way where they go try to overload your mana with Chord of Calling, and then having a 1 mana way to counter Chord of Calling suddenly can change the outcome of the game, and they also have Veil of Summer sometimes. Alright, so what do we do here? What do I discard? I think I can't. I discard the Chatterfang. But I kinda need both of them to do moves. I have less Chatterfangs, but one factor will let me... I don't know. I don't have that much from Chatterfang. Tricky. Also, like, thin creativity with one more X for some reason. Hmm. So close. We had the familiar, like, swapped with this. We would have drawn the familiar, discarded, and then comboed. So bad. Hmm. The construct doesn't really matter. I will need a combo to win. You can draw once. They don't have much. You can survive. Speaking of Forsen and Gilded Goose, he was playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and the question was what animal did Jack trade for magic beans? Guessed goose. What was the animal? Cow? Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć, sześć. Nice Annihilator, yeah. Can just take it. It'll probably be better to jump with the goose. Guess if we get enough clues, we can steal Archon, but it's not that good. Cycle Triumph, that's not a show of strength. That's a show of strength. Except fetch and untapped one and cracked a clue.
He's a phenomenal
Like,
control
yeah.
player.
Have enjoyed watching you stream for the past 12 months.
Thank you, Dr. Bill, for your kind words. Yeah, Miracle not so powerful here. Why not Emrakul? Well, I think Emrakul is weaker on the board than Archon is. Because I can take the Annihilator 6, as funny as it sounds. Well, we can't block Emrakul with 15 squirrels because... Well, I guess we can use Chatterfang's ability to kill Emrakul at some point, so it would be my funny conclusion to that. I only have 4 minutes though, so it's kind of sketchy, and seems like they found creativity. They're targeting my own monsters, which is funny. They don't have any more Archons? They bought down 2 Archons? I guess that's why they made a smaller one, they just didn't have more stuff. Alright, let's go. We get Lonis
He's a
and
phenomenal
Manufactor and what
control
else?
player.
Hey, Witch's Oven.
Hi.
That works. Hi, Alexon. Let's say it's a funny game. Ooh, 2 insects. I actually don't want to kill the Emrakul. Because then I can creativity again. Well, they have no creatures in their deck right now, we know that. Maybe I want to grayscale this. They get 2 Archons. Worst case, should they have another creativity? Well, I guess it starts getting kind of sketchy. I guess maybe you can end of turn Lonnies try to steal the Archon from their deck. 9 deep. Kind of makes sense. When you have over 300 game objects, opponent is forced to concede. I think the Magic Online token limit is 200 tokens total, or something like that, so that rule might as well be in place. It just does not have much, does not mean much. Wait, it's not one permanent card. I thought that Lonnie just steals creatures. Did I see the Genshin Impact anime PV? What's PV? I've seen the streams of Genshin Impact new things, so yeah, I guess I've seen it. It's pretty nice. You have 37 seconds to attack for 1 damage. What is UFO table known from? seemed to have a nice art style. Demon Slayer, yeah, Demon Slayer. Well, I didn't enjoy it, but it looked nice. Had a nice art style, for sure. Fate Zero. Okay, I haven't seen it. I actually don't watch anime because I hate it, so that's why. So yeah, nice Emrakul, bro. We just annihilated 12 Pernamets. And not much came of it from my opponent. Whoa. Just sacrifice 12 tokens, 12 objects. After all, this is what this deck is. It's game objects. Vira Tap XD. Thank you for the match. Certainly an interesting one. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be back in a minute. What is the casting cost of Divine Arrow? Obviously it's 1 white, bro. It's not 2 white. How could you mess it up? Confuse it with Avenging Shot, I'm sure. A vastly different card. On the play, turn 2 greased. Just wow. Oh, aspiring spike. So it's going to be a meme showdown. Let's play greased. Even if company drawn, you have a play for the next turn, that's okay. Hi, Flaxons of Trokar, typical. Spike is always playing memes, draws Chatterfang, exactly. No, as I said, it's like a meme showdown. Here I played my Owen as a way to effectively be a 0 mana spell. How you feel? Okay, Kani? I'm feeling nice. Feeling well. Feeling okay. Oh no. Well, that's a problem actually. Oh, it's the Lotus Field deck, obviously. What new card it got this time? I guess the order is not actually trivial, but Kaneki, what is this deck? I'm playing game objects. So, premise is to create game objects. Nahiri. Salsaga. Sure. This is Boros. A Boros deck seems like. This attacks. Canister is being attacked by Solitude? Sure. Still viable living in Cyber Guide for sub on Discord? Yes, it's still there. Grace before company is questionable, I guess. No, if I hit a Grace, then I want to Grace first. I did hit a Grace, but I chose not to use Grace, so... Ładnych parę lat. No ephemerate, weirdly. Good draw. Jest ściernisko, ale będzie San Francisco. Then can you say something about adding a couple matchups? Oh shit, I did say that. I will add them today. I forgot. What were the matchups in question? Creativity and blue-white decks. Yeah, okay, I'll do that today. He's playing, I don't know, some cards. I don't feel like sideboarding. Yeah, against Scam I haven't played much. TBH. But we should devise a cyber plan against it anyways. What hate card will Spike play? He probably has 5 Rest in Pieces in his deck, but Rest in Pieces is not that good against my deck. How did we win? He just scooped to my overwhelming board presence of tokens. Yeah, I'm not sure if his deck is a combination deck, but like Fotsy seems probably better to have than some filler. Hmm. Hand sucks, I keep. Does Blood Sun kill my saga? How does it work? Best deck in modern, your opinion? Blue-red Murktide. Such a funny display bug that if you click on your boss edge in a certain way, it displays it in a very long line, very hard to read. D-A-B each V-E. Display it. All lands lost all abilities except mana abilities. So does it make my saga... What the fuck, Boris Garrison? What are you doing, Spike? Should kill Saga? Why? Okay, because it removes the chapters the same way. Because lose the abilities. True. And still keeps Enchantment Saga, yeah. What is the deal with this? I remember one time I was watching Spike's stream, he had a ramp deck, and he was saying that his payoff for ramping with Lotus Field was a Valakut Awakening, and that just sounded not otherworldly to me for this to be a ramp for a payoff for ramping. So it's kind of funny that he just like played sorcery speed. Although of course Fury is a reason, etc. Boros Garrison also a combination with Blood Sun, true. It's pretty bad with Lotus Field though. You can't play Lotus Field now, right? Tam vybranam. Just gonna make a construct, or I can just company. It's company. Let's go this. Crumbling Vestige. Wow. Let's go Fury Ephemerate now to kill all my monsters. Alright, that's kind of powerful. Crumbling Vestige, that's also wild. But now we're going to struggle, bros. I got successfully out-ephemerated. Being the only deck in the leagues that is weak to that combination. Well, this fetch doesn't work. What is this fucking scam? My fetchland doesn't crack. Fetchland broken? Right, any counterplay I have versus that? I guess Footsies. Did I have the occasion to play Amulet in these days? No, I haven't played Amulet since the last time you've seen me play Amulet. I'm sorry. I will play Amulet when the time is right for that again, but don't pester me for it, as it will not make it faster. It will not make me play Amulet faster. Ashok versus Titan. Had my opponent been playing a Primal Titan deck, I would have boarded an Ashok, yes. Reimgle. Chociaż czasem jest na dobrze, czasem źle. Deploy a second amulet. Tiller Engine. TIL. Dominaria United Commandore. 2 mana, 1 free. Whenever land enters battlefield, tap and under control, choose one. Untap that land or tap target non-permanent opponent controls. Interesting. 2 mana creature, kind of stinky, but modern, not legal indeed. What makes Spike play Crumbling Vestige? It's just because it's a dual land? This card wrecks me. Do we Footsies a land? Honestly, I do take the land, I think. Hand is kind of strong. So, you can maybe mana screw him. What is this, bro? The actual fuck? Why they mana screw you when you just unmana screw yourself like this? No, I can't be temporary lockdown. With 6 cards, drew deck, third land, and my fetch is dead. Fucking scum shit pile deck. I don't like this deck so much. I am angry, bros. I'm not playing with you. Play gooses and attack. Yeah, temporary lockdown. No point. So game objects free to seems roughly accurate. No, I guess free to seems like better than expected. It's cool when it works, which it doesn't for the most part. Or rather, it works, but it's weak to interaction because you just play creatures and you hope your opponent doesn't kill them, and of course they kill them because it's easy to kill creatures nowadays. Also, the plural of goose is geese, so you should say play geese and attack. Bro. What's the plural of moose? Meese.
He's a phenomenal control player.
This is a bad grease deck. The good grease deck is challenging smack die based on the fact that you got a 5-0 and defeated Spike. I think I never got a 5-0 challenging, it's just a 4-1. Okay, so it's 3 mana from the year 21. I was lucky. So it's from Adventures on Forgotten Realms or Innistrad Midnight Hunt or Crimson Vow. You did get a 5-0. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Not with that. If I remember being close to a 5-0 but not getting it. See, no 5-0s. Does somebody free to the preliminary? They don't publish all the 5-0s. Yes, but they publish all the 5-0s except for the unique ones, right? And not unique ones. Is that the case? Is that not the case? Hi, how do I get included in that Discord subscriber group? Join the Discord and follow the instructions there. How do you free to a prelim? I guess there were, but it's 2022, there were not 5 rounds. So I don't understand that. But yeah, it's either a legendary or a creature. And it's green or black, and it's a rare or lower. But 3 mana. So it has to be from AFR. Graveyard Trespasser works. Okay, so it's from Innistrad Crimson Vow. Unless it's from Commander, but then we just concede that. It's an uncommon black, common or uncommon black creature from Crimson Vow. For 3 mana. I have not played limited of that set, but maybe someone in the chat played it. The 1/4 that makes a blood token. But the name of that is what? Celebrant? No. Do you mean blood taken? No cards found. Why does this static function? I know what card you're talking about because I remember the picture, but Gluttonous guest, exactly. Maybe. Wait, I don't know this picture. Oh yeah, I know this picture. Never seen this somehow. First singer. This works. What the hell? There's even more zombies and commons. How many more free drops do they have? Zombie? How do I feel about Breach at the moment and Rhinos? I think Breach is like not a super deck. It's just like a worse version of normal decks with like interaction. And Rhinos, we're gonna play a league right now. Archghoul of Trabant, Zombie Cleric, 3 mana, 3/2. When it or another zombie dies, look at the top card. Catapult Fodder. That's a 4 mana card. No, it's not. It's free drops are uncommon, and there are zombies too. No, it's a zombie though. Well, it's a zombie too. This one's a zombie cleric too. Okay. Well, it could have been a scorpion on the zombie, but I assume there is more zombies on this rather than scorpions. If I had to take a wild guess. Can you say you asked about Abzan Asmo Greasefang before, so here is my third attempt. If you tag me, then I will more likely look at your message. I must have missed it twice so far. Check out the trails for a Saturday Wayfinder. Yeah, trail is kinda not that good in modern. What am I gonna play in the showcase challenge? No idea. Maybe Living End. Or 5-color Rhinos if they rock. At Cancer MTG, what you gonna say to me, huh, bro? Enigmatic both formats? No. Looks trash, but also pretty cool. I assume this deck is... I guess you 5-out, but I assume it's stack. It's, you know, you can 5-out and it still sucks. So it sucks. Unfortunately, I don't own any Kazali ambushers, but it's fine. Not even a single Brazil Borrower main deck. I guess you have the Royal Binding, that's kind of a better version. The blue count is being a bit lower, maybe hurts, but... Is Warhammer expansion be modern compliant? It's not modern compliant. What was cut for the Dracos? I don't know, I net decked. This decks had what? I'm not sure, some like trash cards. Warhammer cards are just commander cards. They're legal just like any commander cards are. Is there a reason for 2 ambusher over the third and fourth dead gone? Yes. But Sergio and Tawara look kinda adventurous, maybe. With the domain cards, but... Steam vents... Breeding pool... Stomping... Where is stomping? Here? Temple garden, okay. Brothers Suarez in November, yeah, and then I think February, I'm not sure. When is the next one? Phyrexia? When's the next Magic Championship? That really depends on what do you mean. Sofia is a regional pro tour. But I don't know if you mean if that's a championship for you. Standard plus historic and arena mods. That's not gonna happen anymore. Well, I guess it is, but I don't know. It's not really happening anymore. The championships in that vein are gone. Will Worlds be an arena this year? I think so. I haven't qualified. Is 4 of Draco better than 4 of the Fairy? Yeah, for sure. It's cheaper. I'm down to seeing a historic event. I've heard there is funny stuff there. Such as... Hope every Odyssey employee gets cancer. Whoa. Bro. No, they don't get cancer. Personally. Kazali Slingers. Whenever Kazali Slingers or under cut enters the battlefield under control, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. Wow. Why does this card have a promo version? Probably some secret lair cuts. I think World Championship will be on Arena. So I was watching your amulet run on card market. Where did you get those 6 sleeves? They provided me with the deck, so they didn't give me the sleeves. I did not get the sleeves from them. But I sent them the list and they like assembled a deck for me, so they gave me it in the sleeves. Oh, Rhinomania. Also, chat, did you like that there's many benefits arising from subscribing to my channel? What sleeves do I use for my Titan deck? Just Dragon Shield something. Dragon Shield somewhat green. But they're see-through and you can see the Hanwar Battlement through it, so I don't recommend that. Not an actual tournament. Dun, 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 dun. Well, I guess you keep this. It's fine that War's Funnel is fake Pioneer. Yeah, it's also fine that my opponent just put a leyline of Sanctity onto the battlefield immediately. Well, I'm not gonna force this, bro. Yeah, my shapeshifter. Have I watched any good movies, Kenny? Never. I never watched an interesting movie. Do you want to suspend Rhinos? No, because I wanted to fetch a Triumph, but I'm thinking about it more, I don't know which one. So I guess I will, because I can't cast a Draco and next turn anyways, yeah. Nice Poseidon. I think the game plan is to make 10 Rhinos and attack. Well, can counter that. Let's get Xander's long, I guess. It's like you don't have Hallowed Fountain even. Kinda awkward. Should I sell this channel? Yes. If you have a spare Twitch Prime, then why don't? Why wouldn't do that, right? Any shapeshifters in the chat? I'm a shapeshifter. I play Violent Outburst. Opponent's next turn seems to potentially be quite big, as they can produce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 16 mana, which is a big amount of mana. Ready, you know, it's fine. Resolves. They only draw, like, they don't have 2 enchantresses, so. So you need to counter what's actually threatening. It's kind of threatening, but I'm not countering this. I want to play more MTGO, but a lot of the banger cards cost more than their paper counterpart. You could try utilizing some, you know, it's rental services. Maybe that's for you. I don't think not suspending Rhinos ends up mattering. I also like how Scion of Draco gives Rhinos trample. Maybe they'll just discard their entire hand, sacrifice confinement. No, they have more stuff to draw. Well, you don't know. They don't have a second one, so they kinda have nothing. Also incredible mana base Mr. Streamer. Yeah, not so free. I guess I said that about the Boseju, or I'll never attack for that. Whatever. We have ley lines and Brazil borrowers. And we got Fury. I wanna stream on an MTGA, well then, tough luck. But the cards on MTGA don't really cost more. Well, the decks cost more, but the cards don't really cost more. Let's do this. We can suspend Rhinos and then play Scion of Dragon too. Right, this card kinda sucks. I was thinking too highly of it. So they keep. Spend Rhinos. Well, then I prefer to play the Scion maybe than spend the Rhinos. That's no, that hand sucks. Right, this is better. Can put back Aestion. So let's say we have this, so you'd want Hallowed Fountain, which you can get, so you want white green, let's say. So blue green. Excuse me, green, blue, green, white. So Temple Garden. So Alexander and Temple Garden seems fine. Last week I arrived 4th with Yogg with my LGS, but I wish I could do the same or better with my pet deck. I wish you could do that too. I've been Dantha, and Dantha gets finished by Steam Vents. I'm not sure it's the same really. Seems the same to me. Ah, honestly, tapping this might be better. Probably is. Yesterday I pre-ordered the MH2 draft at the LGS with a 0 rare stack. Congrats, bro. I'm so impressed. I tap your lane, I cast Charles of the Void, it's fine. It's fine if you tap Utopia's Pro instead, and that's kind of a like pretty bad misclick. I play 10 power. Just living in a funny deck to play, or it would become monotonous in the long run. It's pretty monotonous. TBH. It's one of the more monotonous decks. Then you also like when you lose to hate kind of is not so great. So it's powerful times, but for enjoyment purposes, I think living in ranks pretty low TBH for most people. Oh no, they have cities and a Sanctum Weaver. Insane. Can bounce the Dark. I can Force of Vigor the two creatures. I can Force of Vigor Sanctum Weaver and the Utopia Sprawl. Leave them with cities. Because what does it matter? Killed in 2 shots anyways. Can play Sion of Draco, bounce the Dark. Kill 2 relevant things next turn. And have the same clock. While using the Brazil Borrower. No, it does make sense to kill cities. They will not draw more cards. If they want to cast removals, they can also do that. Because if they keep cities and they just cycle, they draw cards with their on thin ice, that's too bad. Seems like a big 4 mana play is going. What's the most interesting deck I played in this period? I don't know. KCI. I'm not sure if KCI is in this period though. Seems like a bad play. Confinement, just discard cards. Why do this? Quarantine field, oh shucks. Well, I assume they had another one. Yep. I just exiled 2 Rhinos. That's less impressive than I thought. I was playing with Tameshi combo. Well, it was fine. But, you know, it's also like, can you take losing with a deck?
He's a phenomenal control
You can
player.
play many more decks. You can just play what you think looks cool. Although, most likely, it's pretty hard to say. Like, if you're anyway like me, you will feel better if you win than if you lose. So, it's a reason to, you know, play a deck that's actually playable. But yeah, if you play a tournament, it's like enjoyable to win with everything, I think. To me. Of course, may depends on a person, but for the most part should be true. Keeping dead gauns for the creatures seems better than the Furies. Play the good cards. Well, what play the good cards is an advice for winning, not for enjoyment. So I don't think it applies here. Bros, I'll draw the lens, I got mod. How degenerate decks in MTG are nowadays, I usually still side when I win. We should see a doctor about it then. Maybe it's a deeper issue. Not having Raffin's Tower for Stomping Ground, which Stomping Ground is the only color of ouch. Free toughness, can't counter, bullshit. Also, why do they play the Snowland? But not having the Raffin's Tower to finish your Stomping Ground after you fetch your Stomping Ground turn 1 seems kinda sus. We kept this? Yeah, I did. I did keep that. Why isn't... Fuck, yeah, exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Not sure you should have let Prison resolve. Well, I'm pretty sure I had no say in that because Destiny Spinner has text saying creature and enchantment spells you control can be countered, so it would be a waste. But I revert what I said about Scion of Draco. It seems thoroughly not based. I don't get why we're back to playing Scion of Draco. I don't get why you're saying we are back to playing the fucking Scion of Draco when this is the first time I play with the card, bro. I never played it in Rhinos before. So that's why I'm playing with it. But it seems not very castable and not requires more contortion of the mana base than leyline binding, which is seemingly based. But it does tilt me when like, oh bro, why don't you know that Scion of Draco is not good? I knew that, so you should know that too. No? Sure, yes, you knew that. Congrats to you. I'm glad you have a beautiful life and you know stuff. I didn't. What can I say? Should cost 11, not 12. Interesting idea. Can attack with 2 Rhinos. Is that a plan? I understand you didn't mean it like that, but you still said it this way, which was enough to tilt my fragile mind. Yeah, I guess I can attack with 2 Rhinos because they can attack. Can play Scion. If I keep the mana, I can counter anything they play too. Let's pass. But the Sign of Draco requires a fairly specific series of lands. Was that a problem? Kind of is. To deal with that, I bounce Destiny Spinner and I force. Makes my force of vigor a poor draw, so I think we do go on. Is the bounce spell, right? So I wish I had access to Hallowed Fountain, but there's no Hallowed Fountain in my deck either. So I think the Shocklands Triumphs are actually poorly chosen here because... Wait. Well, not necessarily, but... No, I guess that does not imply they're poorly chosen, but it's just inevitable to... for problems to arise like this. True, it's not ideal. My only white source to fetch untapped is Temple Garden. And then Indantha Triumph, which is like Temple Garden Max. So that's kind of what I don't like. It's Temple Garden plus black. So you can have 2 Temple Gardens. And I also would want a second blue, but I also want white. So it's rough. Punished. Kinda punished. Can attack and say, I wanted to attack, bro. Seems like my... Oh, I guess Force of Negation doesn't really do anything either. I guess I just want to draw a Force of Vigor. The worries now they have mana to make a 5/5, sure, but I also have the mana to play a 4/4 flyer. It's ice to land because we're drawing towards the force of vigor. Let's draw land. They can make any amount of 5/5s they want. Actually, no, they made raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć. Oh shit. 7,000, then I would be worried. Oh no, it's actually good as we play this card. Cities. Sure. I mean, I don't know. I could play Draco number 2 and what's the better play? I don't know how to punish me really, because we give them an extra draw step anyways if I don't play the Draco, so... I mean, if they miss, draw a land, then I'm fine. If they draw a Ghostly Prison, then I'm less fine. Okay, then it was much better to kill the cities. What the fuck, bro? Stop it. Quarantine field, huh? What are the else? They draw 2 enchantments. No, they also have to be 2 enchantments that matter. What? How you take the Rhinos? Kinda wanted the Fairy Plus. Hmm, not in love with that. Maybe I do kill cities and then just try to draw the Force of Vigor afterwards. Seems like since I don't have a one-shot kill with the attack from the Scions of Dracos, now it doesn't make sense to rush it. Bros, don't look up the cover of the song that is playing right now on YouTube. Don't do that. Hey, what are you doing, Maquin Sauce? I told you, don't do that. Does the lens have trample? They do have trample, what the fuck? Who thought it's a good idea? I think I need to kill this. It shoots the lens too fast for me. 2 more 7/7s. It's really tough out there. Freaking Enchantress, bros. Ah, no. This is insane. Haste trample. Okay. Let's do this. Enforce his life. They all die in a plane crash in 90s. Damn. Mousing prison, I think it's just bad. I think I'll attack. I only have one Brazil borrower. I have 3 force of vigor, but for that it doesn't matter, and I guess I'll just attack. Or if you draw a blue card and force of negation. Well, what if I don't draw the blue card? Ooh, bro, can't even force that. Ah, bro, what the hell are you doing? This is insane. Why do I? Oh, I'll never win. I will never stop my opponent. It's still very, very winnable, bros. I'm so dumb. Soda, so dumb, sodium. Good rhymes. What's the worst experience you've had against an unprofessional opponent? I don't remember any super bad experiences. Typically don't have super terrible experiences. Although I had one guy tried to blatantly cheat me. Like, and then I called the judge, and the judge was like, "Yeah, sure, bro. You just like take that back." And I'm like, "Well, nice judges. Thanks for helping." Okay, nothing else, bro. That's fine, actually. Nothing anymore. No more. No, bro. Why? Why you've got to on thin ice me? No, I can't win. Maybe I can win if I have 7 cards in hand, 6 cards in hand. I can't win. Even with a force of... Oh wow. Taking this. What is this attack? What the hell? Bros, why have they attacked? Why have they decided that they want to trade for this least relevant Charlotte's agent ever? Probably just BM, yeah. Privileged position. Alright, bro, you're pretty privileged indeed. You get out privileged. Not so privileged anymore. Thoughts? I keep anyways. Nice bindings, thanks. What creature is being bound on leyline binding, chat? Some kind of a Phyrexian. Your mother. Yeah. Got me good. Hey, Fury the Sentino? I think so. I have the 2 bindings to remove anything my opponent plays afterwards anyways. Only have 1 white Shockland though. Spare Sentino, punished. Haven't drawn a land and they play under Sentino, so I got uber punished. Oh, I drew a land. Alright, now I guess we do Rhino. Breeding pool, obviously. I mean, at least it's not a forest. Bros, I'm a bit sick. Sick of this mana base. I can't even draw a Sacred Foundry, and I can't even draw a Triumph with a Sacred Foundry, so this is a badly built mana base. Because you should have had an option to... I don't know. But these are too much. Yeah, you can play the Kamigawa lands, just need to get rid of them, and then you... Like, yeah, what is weird is that it has Temple Garden and in Dantha Triumph, it has Stevens and Xander's Long. So if you're skipping Shockland, you should not be skipping those that are already on the Triumphs. Quite the opposite. You should be playing Hallowed Fountain. Hallowed Fountain and John Triumph and... You know... You shouldn't be playing the... Like, you should be skipping the Shocklands that are already imprinted on that. Hallowed Fountain and Secret Foundry are missing. But although... Probably just having an extra pair would be the most stable. Way to do that. So if you cut these and had Raffine's Tower and Hallowed Fountain. Well, you don't need to add you don't need to add a pair that's not in the deck. Because like this way you just have more shock lands. Sacred Thunder is the stupidest at casting stuff, so it gets skipped. And we have Raffine's Tower with Stomping Ground. And the only problem is that like the fetches don't cover everything. Because this deck has Timur fetches, not quite Timur fetches. Well, that's 8 Timur fetches. The Hallowed Fountain. That's Timur basics. And then Hallowed Fountain only gets grabbed by the Flooded Strand Rhinos and Misties. And Wooded Foothills. If we have Windswept Heath, does Windswept Heath misses the Triumph, so that's not acceptable. We probably don't need 3 Triumphs, you just need 2 Triumphs. But just in the most useful configuration. So you skip the Hallowed Fountain and you play Raffine's Tower. I'm in a game, but I'm cringing in the game from my mana base being bad, so it's so poorly. I guess you just play the Hallowed Fountain and you don't fetch it with every fetch, it's fine. Well, you don't need to cut the something, and it's time. Like, I think you're thinking about it wrongly. You don't need that, like... It's like Stomping Grounds... I guess Stomping Grounds is not fetched by everything already. There's no reason to play 3 triumphs, you just want more fetches. Raffine plus Indantha, no. This is Hallowed Fountain. So you don't actually want Hallowed Fountain. You want Raffines and Stomping Ground is cool. Then Raffine would get completed by white, blue, red, green, giant. Well, giant's pretty bad too, but I guess it looks better than those triumphs because you don't want. Yeah. You don't want the. This is not fetched by. Let's fuck, bros. My head hurts from this, and it already hurts from fever, so I'm not doing that. No great solution. That's like super clear, but just if you don't play Boseju and Otawara and you play fetches instead, you're gonna be fine. Yeah, I never built a travel some mana base, that is true. I don't think I'm a worse person for not doing that.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Hi.
Just don't play Kamigawa lands, play fetch land. Do you want Temple? Kassalian Busher? This seems good to cast into Esper Sentino early. This is probably not very useful actually. Dead Gun is Slovenia. Yeah. The fairy actually kind of lame. Okay, let's do this. Ambusher in. We are now an Ambusher gamer because I am playing an Ambusher. Bros, those hands. Let's keep it. Hoping that they will run into my Ambusher. With the Esper Sentinel on turn 2. It's my entire game plan. And after that, I don't know. Well, after that we have Force of Vigor. Seems like every hand you recoil and then keep 7. Yeah. It does seem like that. But us VTubers are so funny when they sing, true. I'm also not sure if you should be playing 3 basics in this deck. Or maybe just don't play the stupid Scion of Draco shit card. Seems to be a solution too. Probably a better one. Sure, but well, keep 2 basics. Oh my. Oh no. More stone forges. Which means that Caldra will enter the battlefield soon, probably. Drink some water and tell me what to do. Am I okay? Yes, I am very okay. Can bind the Caldra. Or we can't. So price of a battle cry can be as deadly as the blade, sure bro. Oh, I don't have full mana. I'm done with this. It's way too bad. Is it Edantha? Not Indantha? Card view. Indatha. Alright, so I guess I was not close. Now, with extra fetches and actually functioning mana, 3 triumphs is too much, but just need to draw more fetches per game, I guess. But I can't. There would need to be scalding turns, probably. No, the scalding turn doesn't grab this. Ah, whatever. This should function at least. But that didn't function as the mana was copied. What about some other deck lists? Baron of Bacon, Gerardo, Rion Numbers, Girth of God, and I guess a newer list by some Glablade. So the same shitty unplayable mana base. This is Rhinos. Rhinos has more fetches. Rogrin and Indatha. Yeah, why do you need 2 black triumphs to begin with? You don't. And you want a green one. And then you want all your fetches to fetch Steam Vents, which they do. No, so I can't play Windswept Heath then. Could actually spend a triumph on fixing your stupid mana base. It's only gonna be awkward if you draw the Rogreen Triumph. And you don't want to fetch the Rogreen Triumph because you don't have a black one to complete it. Well, that's a bit awkward. No, being able to cast Binding for 1 is more important than casting other spells. Well, you need 1 Triumph to do that in your deck. But you can't use Scalding Tarn to grab this. So, okay, so I get the issue now. You can't use... You can have at most 12 fetches that are going to be able to fetch both Indantha and Steam Vents. Not really, you can use like... No, that's not true. It's literally just... You can have Arid Mesa. Or Blassenmeyer. Well, Arid Mesa kind of weird jump in the deck. Yeah, now it's perfect. You have 14 fetches that are able to grab you in downtime to the other guy. I probably don't want Rogreen Triumph at this point though, because it's not actually needed. What do you want to do on turn 2? You don't want Raffine's Tower because Misty. You don't want... I guess Sanders Long is fetched by... Not everything either. It's also not trans long, but other longe. Longe. On to exile. Footfalls on turn 1, get top line, cast Leyline. So can't do that with Vedanta Triumph. So green, white plus Grixis does that. And then there's also the second pair that would do that. Green, blue. Is finished by Mardu. Yeah. So we have Savai. But Savai doesn't get grabbed by Misty Rainforest. Alright, bros. It's too much. Don't play Scion of Draco. It's not worth the hassle. Because with Plainline Binding you have some more leeway, but Scion of Draco, it's way too bad.
He's a
Because
phenomenal
clearly there is
control
so
player.
much you're giving up. Consistency of casting it. And then the payoff is fine because you make a relatively powerful turn to play, but it's nothing to be too excited about. It is a 4/4 flyer. Did you have anyone you liked watching before you got big? 3 question marks. I started streaming before I was watching a stream of Misplaced Ginger. And I was like, damn, it's kind of based. Maybe I could try streaming myself. And then I started. And then I don't know if I'm big. For Magic standards, yes, I am. Guess I'm big. I'm also probably in like 0.1% of Twitch streamers, if not 0.01. Did I watch Jeffrey Hoogland when he streamed MTGO? No, I really never got into him. If you don't support the queue, you aren't British. It's pretty funny that her current lying in state queue endpoint. Entry the queue has resumed. Expected queuing time is over 24 hours. Overnight temperatures will be cold. So, like, how long is that? 5 miles long. It's like 8 kilometers long, and people just queue up to look at the queen. Based. The worst part is the queue is constantly moving, so I can't rest very well, yeah. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's so wild to me too. Like, why will they close it at some point, or will they have it open for up until everybody who wanted to is going to take a look? It's 24 hours a day until I bury on Monday. Okay, so I can't just like wait for the queue to dry up and then go. And it's when it's short. Or if the queue ends forever and she'll never be buried. Well, it says that entry the queue has resumed, so it's probably going also unresume, and then she'll get buried. Anyone waiting in line after she's buried gets buried with her? No, I don't think so. But it would be pretty gruesome. Sick stuff. For an average Brit, how did an average Brit feel about the Queen? You can also watch the 24-hour live stream. HM, the Queen, lying in state. Where is she? Where Queen? Knock knock. Who's there? What did you do when the King of Poland died? I didn't do anything. So there's no King of Poland throughout my life span. Okay, I want to see the Queen. But they're showing me some dudes walking around. In the box, so you don't even get to see. Not an open casket.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Yeah, what are the odds that it's not actually the Queen and it's just an empty casket and they like didn't place it here in case of someone trying to steal the body for lulz. The lady on the screen is very sad from the Queen's passing, seems like. British people looking sad but also happy because they've been able to queue. True. How long do you get? How long can you do you get to stay in here? Not too long, you just walk. Kinda quick, kinda fast paced walk. I wear this shirt periodically. Base. And then it's like periodic table. Very funny. Actually pretty funny. That one didn't even look. Yeah, just all about the queue. All about the ceremony. It's funny when you consider a little fat kid is swinging at the queue in his funeral. No, not the funeral, lying in state, which is a term I have never heard, but I assume jakieś tam czuwanie, czy coś. I didn't know they had states in GB. state of, yeah. We gotta react on the, I wonder what's gonna be. BBC Radio Dance Awkward. It's pretty good. It's so good. Oh, yes. The one for the queen is fake though. That one's good because it happens. Oh yeah. Too bad it didn't happen. This one is the fake one for the queen. Radio 1 dance. Schedules. It said schedules. That's how you know it's fake and generated voice, not actually said by a person. Ooh, funny. Been waiting a long time for it, bros. Also, I just realized that this person has Werther and Force of Vigor. Some people pronounce schedules like this, like sh. Schedule. Pronunciation. That's American. What about British? Wow. It really is like that, bros. Any Brits can confirm that you say it's schedule over there? Schedule. 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 Oh, that's cool. They say schul. They should say schul instead. Schul. Have you been to schul? Good. Anyways, bros. Thank you for joining me on this venture into game objects and playing with this unplayable mana base of Rhinos. But I will be going back to resting as I'm a bit tired. I will be playing the Showcase Challenge tomorrow for sure, but will I stream it? Honestly, I don't know. Will depend on how I feel when I wake up. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying no. I also don't know what to play with, so tough. We'll try to figure. Send you over to Aspiring Spike, who has scammed me out of the match win by playing very hateful cards. And I say goodbye, bros. Stay hydrated. And subscribe with Twitch Prime.